Today I am going through my house to see which products might be environmentally harmful, so come join me. First, we start in the bathroom to look at some of these cosmetic products. I try to buy eco-friendly brands, and you can usually tell if they avoid parabens, phthalates, fragrances, dyes, and other harmful chemicals. There's a big list online of harmful chemicals, and microbeads is another one. These leach into waterways because they're too small to be captured by filtration systems. So check the ingredients list on all of your beauty products. Next, I decided to check out some of the cleaners that I have. Now, this is a hard one because I love bleach. I feel like it's not clean if it's not used with bleach. Bleach can actually be pretty harmful, and I'm not sure I'm quite ready to part with it, but some of these other detergents and cleaners can be quite hazardous. So I'm going to consider a bleach alternative once I've used up the rest of this one. I was surprised to find this ant killer in my house because I'm actually highly opposed to herbicides and pesticides. Most people know that these are incredibly harmful to the environment, and there are plenty of natural alternatives to take care of pests and weeds. And if you look at the back, it even tells you that there are environmental hazards. So I'm not going to use this one up. I'm going to figure out the best way to dispose of it, which is probably at a waste hazard site. This is a hard one for me. Scented candles is on the list because burning anything can create greenhouse gases, even if it's small. And paraffin wax is really not good. It's a petroleum byproduct. But if you can find candles that are made of beeswax and use essential oils, those are a lot more natural. So I don't want to part with scented candles entirely, but I am going to be more conscientious of the ones I buy. Aerosol cans can be problematic, whether it's spray paint, hairspray, or those spray deodorants. So even though the CFC aerosols were banned in the 70s, we still have these pressurized canisters which use hydrocarbons and nitrous oxide, and these can pose a threat to the environment. So I try to use other paint alternatives when possible, but some of my projects actually require spray paint, so I'll try to use it sparingly. And I like to use these wool balls. These are good. So the product to avoid are dryer sheets. So a lot of people don't realize that that nice smell that comes from the dryer sheets actually emits a lot of toxic chemicals. These can even cause respiratory issues. They're not just bad for the environment. Anything with chemicals and fragrances is not going to be the best, and they can't be recycled or composted. So I've made the switch to these wool balls, so no dryer sheets in my house. I've been going through all my art supplies, and I'm looking for any glitter. Glitter is absolutely terrible for the environment because these particles are so small, they get all over everything. It's an absolute nuisance to get rid of. Anything tiny like that, microplastics, they pose a hazard because you can't catch them. You can't always make sure they don't end up in natural areas. So avoid the glitter, and if you do have some, make sure you get it secured and covered with epoxy. A big one that I think almost everyone can find in their home are single-use plastics, whether it's plastic forks and knives or these little sandwich bags. I switched to these reusable bags a long time ago, and I absolutely love them. They're kind of a pain to clean out, but they're great. They work great for sandwiches. I also got these little Tupperware lid covers. So anything that has to be thrown away and can't be used more than once is absolutely terrible for the environment. So not all sunscreens are bad, but some of them can be hazardous, especially the ones that contain chemicals like oxybenzone or octinoxate. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right. But there are certain chemicals that are pretty bad for plant life, especially coral reefs. So from now on, after I use up this product, I'm going to start shopping for some eco-friendly sunscreen options, or better yet, just limit my sun exposure and cover up with fabrics. And finally, single-use wet wipes. Some people use these to clean and wipe down counters. Some people use single-use makeup wipes. And some people use paper towels for cleaning. All of these are bad because they're disposable. They're not the greatest. So opt for a cloth when you can, a reusable towel. These can be washed and reused multiple times. So what should we do with these toxic products that we find in our homes that could potentially harm the environment? Well, some people will keep them in the actual container and dispose of them. If it's something that's hazardous, like pesticides, you can bring them to one of the centers that handles hazardous materials. If it's something just cosmetic, like, I don't know, a face cleanser that has the microbeads in it, you can either use it up, which I tend to do. I try to use up the rest of a product that I've purchased, but if you feel it's better to just discard it, it's best to leave it in its packaging and put it in the regular trash. A lot of these products cannot be recycled, and trying to put any of them in the recycling bin is only going to cause more work and more problems for recycling centers. So for me personally, I try to use up these products. A product like glitter that we don't want getting out everywhere, I make sure that it's sealed on whatever art project it is, and that maybe there's a layer of gloss or epoxy over it so that it doesn't escape. And then the rest of them I use up. If the container can be recycled once it's been properly cleaned out, I put it in the recycling bin. But soon I'll be talking about some really great alternatives to some of these products, and if you know of any of your own, please share them in the comments section. Thanks for watching and happy purging!